Microphone check 1, 2. We had to make sure that worked because, sometimes I have to give it a little tap just to make sure.
Tap, tap, tappy, tap, tap.
Sometimes, man, this thing be fucking up a little bit,
Players fuck up.
Yeah, but don't, though.
And that's like literally a player of some sort.
It was too expensive of a player to fuck up, if you ask me.
All right, well.
I don't like that shit, man,
You let me know.
Let me make sure. I feel like I put the wrong number up on that board. It's supposed to be 160. Nope, it is 174. Oh, shit.
Oh, you put the number there. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, did you put that with a permanent marker, you dick?
No, I used the freaking expo right
like,
there.
How do you work in the office and not know? All right, let's go.
Nah, I took the one from there. That one there.
Over there?
That one over there.
All right.
All right, man. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Kasson Avenue show or pod or whatever we do here. Yeah. I'm host Adam here with my brother Osama. The dog is over here by the door. He's like, really wants his bone that's on the other side. We don't let him keep it in here because it's really loud as he continues to chew. So thank you all for tuning in. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button wherever it lands on the screen.
You're not going to put it on the screen.
No, it does that on its own when you scroll over.
Oh, good, because you weren't.
Do you not use YouTube? We're on YouTube.
Yeah, but nobody knows that.
Some people know that.
There are a few.
I
have a few dollars.
Tell your friends, Yeah, so definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in if you are indeed tuning in. I think we stopped at like a rough 100 views on last.
Yeah, man, I don't know what happened
but
there.
It's cool. I'm cool with that because I feel like it weeded out
the people that really want to watch or the people that accidentally clicked.
It weeded out the people who are like, hopefully, who are like whipping it out. Besides that one dude.
We actually have 2 new subscribers, which I'm assuming
shout out to y'all
are people who aren't here for the feed.
And round of applause for us.
I would have hoped, right? I hope that's the case.
Wait, if you saw that, there's that one guy who always comments.
Yeah, man. He's like,
oh yeah, nice pants.
Do you ever just imagine just walking through the mall? Like,
if he just left it at good pod guys more like this, that's cool. But when you say like, oh, nice pants you got there.
Do you remember in this the Dave Chappelle skit where it's if the internet were real, like in real life? Yeah. Can you imagine like nowhere else in the world are you just gonna be walking and somebody like, man, I like your fucking pants, bro. Those are dope pants. Like nobody's ever just walked up to you. Imagine walking through the mall and that's how the internet was. Like anything they would say on a comment.
JBP was talking about that before, where men just can't compliment each other.
Yeah, but
they made it sound like a bad thing.
But no, I think you could compliment each other. I just think there's a limit. Looking at the pants is too close to looking at your dick.
It comes off one of two ways: either that, like I'm looking at your dick type of thing, or it comes off as though those nice jeans. Got some money.
No, and, even that is a weird way. Like I don't even know how that would make me feel.
I mean, I don't think people use
somebody coming to get you. Somebody coming to get your ass.
Like, that's a nice watch, Playboy.
Watches are different than pants.
Not word, but it's just like
all jeans kind of look alike. Is that racist?
I don't think it's true. First of all,
well, there are ones with rips, but the ones with rips look like the other ones with rips.
There's ones with rips. There's different colors of jeans. There's different tightnesses, which, I'm not going to ever be.
Hey, man, to each your own, man.
Consider tight.
I like to wear comfortable fitting clothing.
Yeah, word. And to me, tight is not that.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Not that. All right, well,
there's a reason tight clothing exists for women, right? As men.
Yeah, because we want to see their curvatures,
Yeah, but even if men wanted to wear something that was form-fitting, we still have dick and balls, man. Those things got to be dealt with.
It's true. It's true. Like when the man is putting
that is an unavoidable obstacle.
Like
of wearing
men can't wear yoga pants.
Contouring. No, man, that's pretty funny.
But some of them do it.
It's kind of funny.
It's a little fruity.
Should you wear a cup? Should you be required to wear a cup?
You should be required to wear pants that don't show any outlines.
Yeah, generally speaking,
particularly if you're not like in a sport that calls for it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I guess you have like a you're wrestling.
Oh, the singlet. Shit, But you actually wear a cup.
Yeah. So but I'm saying like it's form fitting, right? And you don't do that unless you're wrestling.
Yo, I remember because I have a little bit of a history with the wrestling.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah. So wrestling in high school was funny to me, right? Because I don't know. Actually, somebody had said something about the fact that I was on the wrestling team freshman year. And I was like, oh, damn, how the hell did you remember that? Because I've blocked out how much time I actually was there. Or
how much time were you there?
Well,
I thought it was only like 2 weeks.
No, we
Thought you
did.
quit once the season started.
Yeah, but we did conditioning for like 3 or 4
Like,
months.
wait a second, I got to wrestle a dude? Yeah, I'm done.
It was like I remember, like I'll get into that, but I remember we did conditioning for like 3 months, like mad long. I mean, I'm talking about running stairs, like squatting each other while the other's sitting on your fucking on your shoulders.
Sounds funny, you know?
Yeah, if you will, but
Squatting each other.
It could sound funny, but it also can sound like I can just squat a grown person.
Or you could at that point. I don't know about today.
Back then, it was, dude. Honestly, it was probably the best foundation I ever could have had for like an athletic background.
Well, because like there's different trainings for different sports, right? Like you're gonna work out a particular way depending on what sport you're playing, and that is like all strength. And obviously, you need to be agile to some degree.
If you were to pick a sport to play, like if you can go back, right, with all the knowledge you can have regarding, let's say, picking a sport that you wanted to play, and you wanted to pick it based on the least amount of work required during the season or in general to be good at it, what is the sport you pick?
I would probably choose golf because I feel like it's like
It's calming.
The whole thing doesn't feel like
You just drink and smoke on a course.
Yeah, the whole thing doesn't feel like a
Can
sport.
you imagine? That's what they should allow. They should allow the fucking players to be drinking during the
It
tournament.
all feels leisurely to some degree.
I feel like they can make sports a lot better than they are. You know how basketball was like the movie?
I still think that's a great.
It's funny, man.
It's a great sport.
But I think, like I said,
should have been converted after all the like weird sports that they put in place, like frisbee golf and shit like that. And
dude, I still think it's.
pickleball
I still think pickleball is hilarious.
Yeah, and it's a hilarious name,
dude. So I've had a couple of theories, right? Remember, I think that they should allow steroids in baseball. They should take away all power tools from any racing sport. Okay, everything should be manual. It should just all be based.
But that just slows it down, and the idea is to be fast.
Yeah, but I mean, you get on there and you're fast. But the point is,
but if you go back far enough, I mean, before they had like such sophisticated equipment, it was similar
for
to
sure.
that, you know?
But I think we should go back to that. It should be how fast you can unscrew a fucking lug nut.
Now, see, if you asked me a question like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would be like baseball for sure. Only because the contracts were, by and large, way, way, way bigger than NBA ones.
They are still, though.
But NBA is catching up. Like, people are getting some big-ass contracts.
I have a theory. Actually,
I would have stuck with basketball if you asked me today, like, based on pay and all that shit.
I feel like they're giving too much money to some of these kids that don't deserve it.
John Morant.
You gotta show me that you're worth this money. You can't just give these kids the money before they show the work.
I think
because
that
then
there
they
should
become so undisciplined.
I think there should be more provisions in your contract. Like, if I'm going to give you this much money because you're this young and you're showing that you have the ability to play, you have certain things that you are not allowed to do.
Some check boxes.
You're going to keep your ass out of the clubs.
Yeah,
You're going to keep your ass.
You are an investment.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
But
it sounds a lot like slavery in a way where you do it like that.
That does
you
that
get a little
does
deep,
seem that
you know?
there's that line right there, and like you're like
yeah, like I can't really force you to do specifically what I want, but I don't know, just
for the money.
Yeah.
So back to wrestling,
right? Back to squatting dudes.
But yeah, I remember like I that to me was I quit when the first person I wrestled was a friend, and I remember like I knew all of the things they trained me. But for some reason, all I could muster up was like a fucking lockup. I would just get locked up, and we would just sit there, and he would try to take me down, and I'd be like, "No, I'm not going down there. You're not gonna take me down, man. You're not gonna do it." And so
you're gonna like grab his arm and bring him into an arm bar. Or something?
I remember. No, I mean I remember. There's like a whole bunch of like. I remember the techniques and all that. Like, there's still some foundation there. But even back then, I knew it. But I just didn't feel. I was like, I don't know. I don't want to do that. Like, what if he hurts me down there, man? I don't want to get hurt.
So what you were saying is, you're just a big pussy, man.
No, but I just literally was like, okay, I don't see the benefit of this. So I remember at the end of the match, right? My coach was like, "You like running?" I was like, "Nah, why?" He's like, "Cause you're about to run." I was like, "Okay." So he literally made me run, man. Yo,
so that was like your
you learned a
punishment
lot
for sucking that made you run.
Yeah, I mean that's just like every sport. You learn a lot about yourself during certain sports back, in high school. Like for instance, people you hate right? Because of the things they wouldn't be able to finish athletically, and the coach kept making everybody pay for it, right? For instance, lane is huge, so he would make us run
suicides and
no. We would. You've been in lane, right? You went to lane with me.
I went to lane to take a test to try to get into lane.
Remember, there was like, there's 2 stairways, right? They come in, and there's a hallway that connects it. And the hallway, there's another chunk of huge part of the school, right, full of classrooms. He would make us. We'd have to do a certain amount of laps around it, right? I think it was like 3 laps. I don't know how long that was, but either way, and we'd had to. I think it was more than that because obviously
we're running into school.
The equivalent
like,
of
you know,
it.
You don't have the.
Yeah, well, the equivalent of what I'm assuming is miles, right? He was probably like, this many laps makes this many miles. I don't remember how many, but we had to do a certain amount of laps within a certain amount of time. And if we didn't make it, we would have to do it again, right? But at the end of it, I think there was push-ups. There's things involved.
It was like Coach Carter.
We literally did this thing like 4 times. And one guy kept like he couldn't make it. And like we were like, what the fuck? And I remember like at the end of it, when you finally completed it, everybody's just like, yeah.
Everybody starts chasing that guy, like, I'm gonna kick your ass.
No, it's actually just a good feeling. Like I think honestly, at the same point, you're like, man, we fucking did something. And I mean, at the end of the day, we didn't. We just ran in circles, you know. But we did it fast enough for our coach to be satisfied. And I guess that was something for that day.
It's good. He probably was just like, I'm tired of watching you guys run around. Like, it's got to be weird.
No, we did it because he was not. He was like, we'll just stay here all night.
Well, what a weird
Mr. Francis style. Oh, you motherfuckers sitting here talking. I don't give a fuck. I get paid anyway.
It's just a weird
I'll just sit here and read this magazine.
You know, because now I got to sit here and watch all you kids just run around in circles.
Mr. Francis was our gym teacher. And
we talked about it.
Yeah.
If you knew, then too bad.
What'd you just say?
I said it's kind of weird because you just, as the coach, and I have to sit here and just watch you guys run around in circles until I'm satisfied. Like it's.
I think it's probably some sort of like power trip. He's like, these motherfuckers suck, and I'm just gonna make them run.
Probably right, but it's still weird.
Yo, wrestling was weird, but I remember I was like, yo, I stopped going to practice. My coincidentally, because it happens to be the beginning of Ramadan.
Yes, Ramadan Mubarak
to all of our listeners, right? And this was back when I practiced anything religious at all.
Right.
My excuse was, it's Ramadan, and I haven't had the energy to come to practice. And then I just slowly, like actually a lot of jobs I had as a youngin, just slowly stopped showing up. And then I didn't work there or go to the team anymore.
I'm just gonna not. Let me
tell you the funniest part about it was that guy, that coach, was my first period gym teacher.
So he
that whole year, anyway. That whole year, the whole year.
You know, it's hilarious. I think I don't know if it was on Theo Von's pod or Joe Rogan's, but Neil Tyson, right? He's Neil deGrasse. He's out there talking about like. It had to be Theo Von's because they were talking about like gay shit, right?
Yeah, Theo Von is hilarious.
He's always talking about some gay shit. But he was like, Neil deGrasse Tyson said this, like, you know how I know that I'm not gay? And he's like, basically he used wrestling as that. He's like, I wrestled in high school. He's like, and you know, dudes who are just basically like you're real. It's a lot of touching of other dudes. He's like, very like minimum clothing. You like get sweaty at a certain point. And he's like, I was never once aroused. He's like, that's a pretty like solid indication for me.
What a guy!
I was like, that shit is hilarious.
You know what I remember is they have to check you for worms, right? Because we can't be wrestling with other people. So like they made us line up in the locker room, right? And all of us. It's funny because as a whole, general consensus, every guy in there, probably 30 of us, all had tighty whities on. And I mean, this is like a team from like freshmen to seniors. It's like you don't grow out of that tighty whitey stage just yet. I don't know what it takes, right? But like tighty whities in general are just, it's a gamble.
It's probably the first interaction with a woman realizing this is not the sexiest thing for you.
Yeah, like coming out of some like tight white like bikini bottom type
Like I should
underwear.
like my underwear should not be the same size as yours. Sitting over here looking like I got panties on. Like, oh.
Yeah, it's that, and like the white isn't flattering because listen, even if you're extremely careful, over time you're gonna have some weird accident with your white like underwear,
some stain on there,
right? Whether it's like, listen, when you pee, if you don't like shake it enough, and you don't want to look greedy at the urinal, right? A drop or two comes out. Now you got yellow stains in your white underwear. It's weird.
I'm gonna leave you on that.
When was the last time you had white underwear that you wore? And what age do you think you stopped doing that?
I don't know, man. Prior to 20, probably.
So what was your transition?
Well, I went to regular boxers first.
Okay.
And I was on regular boxers for a minute. And then you know, the problem with that is there's like, you go from having everything kind of tightly packed together.
So everything just swanging around.
Everything just, yeah. So then
Again,
I
we've talked about the plights of the male.
I think I made the transition to boxer brief somewhere while we were shooting
basketball.
No. I think it was like early pod days.
Oh, really? Changed. Damn. So you just grew up.
Well, no. I mean, I left the tidy whities alone. You know, a long time before that.
Okay.
So,
hey,
I think you just learn as you deal with women that there's certain things you just got to stop doing.
I think those are all really good lessons. I think I learned mine in the locker room because you start to notice like older men seem to wear like different things than like. In terms of underwear, like
it depends. Like
not that I just
like
mean,
for export, for instance,
no,
old men be walking around with nothing on.
Or
like, you
no,
nasty
like
sons of
you'd
bitches.
be like, damn, dude. Like I think boxers just seem like okay, they're bigger shorts or they're smaller shorts, right? And they're just maybe walking around the locker room with tighty whities is hilarious too. I don't know.
Anywhere where you have to expose the fact that you're in tighty whities is embarrassing.
Adjusting to like life.
There's a lesson for you younger guys out there. Just switch to boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs are a good lesson, but that's also I think basketball makes you want to wear like those type of things. But like tighty whities are just not the one.
It's true. I guess like boxer briefs really kind of made their way when it was like sports related, right? Because if you're like doing something high octane, you don't want your dick jumping around all over the place.
Yeah.
But just in general, you know, I think it's just better.
I was guilty of having some pretty bad boxers. Like I would keep them for a little longer than they needed to.
Get a little holy and
yeah, man. It's like, is there really even a point to wearing these type of situations?
Yeah.
But like, you got to remember
that's the thing about regular boxers in the first place. I mean, you might as well just fucking freeball it at that point.
Yeah, it's kind of that situation. But then you run the risk of zippering up your dick, and that's a bad situation.
I've never understood how people have fucked that up.
I could see it happening.
I take special care to make sure everything is not.
Yeah, but I could see it happening. I mean, like you're not if you're freeballing all the time, the percentages of you zipping up a little bit are pretty high.
You know who does that probably a lot? Those people who wear fucking super skinny jeans as dudes.
As dudes, do you have to put that?
Well, yeah, because women wear skinny jeans and they don't have to run the risk of zipping their dick in their fucking pants.
But. Do you think women could risk have it? You think there's ever been a woman to zip up her vagina?
Zip the lip in there?
Zip your lips. Zip your lips.
It's very well possible. I mean,
do you think there's ever been one?
Some bad pussy.
But
no, I don't know.
If we had sponsors.
Well, we don't.
We really don't.
We don't.
We sponsor ourselves.
YouTube doesn't give us money. Nobody gives us money, so we could say whatever fuck we feel like saying. You know, and it's true. It's not like it's a bad thing to have a fat pussy. It's just
I mean,
if you're gonna zip it in your pants, that's the more like.
Can you imagine? Like, you gotta like, you know how like we gotta kind of like just move it to the side a little bit just to like make sure that it's out of like the danger zone. The danger zone.
And that's why you don't. That's why I am not a commando type of guy. You know.
No, I don't think that's ever. There are appropriate situations to be.
Word, but not in jeans.
No, jeans that's nasty.
Yeah,
that's nasty.
Not doing that.
Right?
Got the denim rubbing.
Jeans jeans are all kind of all rough on you and shit.
Good man, I ain't doing all that. You know. But all right, we're gonna get into like some actual topics for a minute here.
Yeah, we got some. We got a whiteboard, guys.
Why do you always give the game away?
Because
why can't we just have things without telling them?
This is why we can't have stuff.
All right, man. So we'll keep this first opening topic short.
Hey,
you want to go in order?
Should I bring like a cool mug too? Is that?
Well, I was drinking coffee, but you can if you want. I guess.
Should this be like a talk show, like a late night talk show where we have mugs?
I mean, good.
We should get mugs.
You know, a lot of times in those talk shows, they're drinking water out of those mugs instead of coffee.
Not always. Some of the guests are drinking.
Some got
else.
yak in there and shit.
Some of them got some in there.
Some.
But that's the point of it. You can't tell what's in the cup.
It's true because it's a dark cup and you can't see the liquid.
I do feel deceived that I always thought it was coffee. Like,
Yeah, nah,
I think a late night show host should be drinking coffee.
Well, the host.
What do you do?
Is.
I
doubt the host.
What are you doing? Not
either.
needing coffee at 11:00. I know they film at 3.
Do they?
Usually, it's not live.
Sometimes they're live.
No, not really.
They
have a live audience.
By the time it gets to us, it's not live. But like in New York, you know, when Fallon does a show and shit like that, it might be recorded.
It's recorded early.
I don't know, man. You know, I'm not behind the scenes.
They have to account for the fact that maybe somebody gets bumped, doesn't show up. There's
They
things
got to edit out the curse words and shit.
something like
You
that.
have somebody like Seth Rogen on the show. I watched the one with him the other day.
Man, Seth Rogen's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
All right, so what were you saying?
So do we want to go in order here, or we just want to?
You pick.
All right. Well, let's just start with the top. I don't have this guy's name in, and now I feel like an idiot for not having a name. But the co-star, starring alongside Michael B. Jordan in Creed 3, he had some allegations. We'll just call them allegations brought against him about some abuse. Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
About some abuse towards a woman, and he was arrested.
But it's only allegations.
It's only allegations.
It just seems like, I mean, he doesn't seem like the type, but I guess you can never tell. But also, I will say that, like you brought it up, like a lot of the time when you're making it, they'll try to find ways to bring you down. And hopefully, if it's true, you get what you get. But hopefully, it ends up to being something that's not true. Because I was starting to become like more of a fan of his. So hopefully, it's not true.
And in the words of Jay-Z, damn groupie girl, stop false accusing it if indeed she was wrong.
But that's, you can't say that because you don't know.
I said if indeed.
Yeah, but you didn't put that. That's not what the verse says. It's not if you a groupie girl, stop. No.
He said, damn groupie girl, stop false accusing it.
But he didn't put if anywhere in that statement.
No, but I changed it to if indeed it's true for Jonathan Majors. Anyway, all the best to everybody in that situation.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And speaking of Jay-Z, the man is now richer than motherfucking rich. His net worth has been newly reported at $2.5 billion.
What? $2.5 billion. You can't even say that cool. It's like it's at that.
I think if you have that money, you can't say anything that's not cool.
What do you do with 2.5? I mean, I know a lot of it's assets and things like that, right? It's not 100% liquid.
No, definitely not. But I mean, he got like 100 businesses.
It's taken into account his investments and things
but it's
of
like
that nature.
Net worth, So
I mean, that's a lot of money, man. 2.5 is like.
And mind you, it was 1.4 last year, so he jumped that shit up 1 when he almost doubled.
At what point do you just say I'm out of here and just go live on an island for the rest of your life?
I mean, for all we know, Jay can go and do that, and he could have been doing that.
I would just buy my neighboring islands, and then I'd make people like pay me to live like I'm their government.
So like you'd actually just like
but they're not allowed on my island.
So you buy the island and start a country on that island, essentially.
Can you do that?
I don't know why you couldn't.
So look,
if you're rich enough, you could do anything. I feel like.
How to buy an island? Let's see here.
That's that salad dressing. I want my 1,000 island.
I want 1,000 islands. How to buy?
I'm pretty sure you just visited 1,000 islands.
How to buy an island in the Bahamas? All right, let's look. Islands for sale in Bahamas. Find Bahamas islands for sale. I don't know why, but that sounds hard to say, right?
But see,
I think it's because
that belongs to the Bahamas,
islands.
though. But that belongs to the Bahamas. Isn't that like when you like adopt a highway?
No, I don't think so. Like I'm not donating. I want my fucking island.
But how does it work?
That's what I'm looking at.
Because if they already own it.
How much does it cost to buy an island in the Bahamas? Bahamian islands usually carry a hefty price tag because of their desirability. Damn, there's a lot of them, I guess. Island properties in the Bahamas usually cost over $1 million.
But it's island properties.
But permanent residency in the island can be achieved with an investment of $500,000. Oh man, you can just become an island, like a literal
a dweller.
Yeah, resident.
Yeah, but I don't want to live on an island. I want to own the island.
Can foreigners own an island in the Bahamas? Yes. Foreign nationals can own an island in the Bahamas, and the government of the Bahamas welcomes foreign investment. There are no restriction on the foreign buyers purchasing islands in the Bahamas, and foreign buyers enjoy the same rights as Bahamian citizens.
See, it just means you're part of the Bahamas then. And the government still rules over you. So how do I become the leader of my overall that I survey, you know?
Islands can be sold in two different ways. A freehold island, which is a much more common...
I think the better question is, can I start my own country?
Okay, let's look at that. Can I start my own country...
Look at the exclusives you get on the Kasson Avenue show.
In the Bahamas.
Thing that we do.
Can I buy an island and declare it a country, populate it with people that's on whatever core is? If I bought an island, could I make it a nation and make my own laws? If you find an unclaimed island, or even make an artificial island.
Find an unclaimed island. Oh, nice. I found an island.
Or even make an artificial island in international waters, then yes, it is possible in theory.
Huh.
You could create your own laws and make your own personal paradise or hell with your own laws and rules. You could make murder legal and drug manufacturing legal. The problem is that other countries won't recognize you.
I guess that makes export a bit of a bitch. You know?
It does make survival a little hard because all you got to offer to your fucking residents is coconuts, palm trees, and sand.
Unless you find like
you can't even drink the water.
Unless you find like precious, maybe it's like nutrient rich. Maybe it's got a lot of gold in there. You know, something. You never know. You might be surprised.
I don't think there's a lot of gold in those islands.
You don't know. I mean, what islands?
We just talked.
We're talking about finding an arbitrary island in the middle of international water somewhere.
Did you know that most of the gold on the Earth is not from the Earth?
Yeah, it's from an asteroid.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from Neil deGrasse Tyson. I feel like you have to say his whole name, otherwise it's like, who is he?
Start just referring to him as Neil.
Call him NDT.
Not down.
That could get confusing, I guess.
Yeah, I don't.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean... Congratulations, Jay, for being extra rich.
Yeah, you got some money, man.
Yeah, you got a lot of money.
So we're going to talk about... Okay, so first, they say that this experiment is fucking... This Doncic, Kyrie situation is not really becoming successful. I don't know. I think Kyrie... He just sent the shot at the fans of Cleveland. I forget why. I don't really care. But...
and then somebody else was like talking shit about him from, I think, Boston or something like that.
Yeah. So Doncic is fined what, $35K for what was he doing?
They said he was making the money sign to the ref, implying that they were paid off.
Oh, well, I don't think that's far fetched.
No, but they were playing Golden State, and you know he's a superstar, he's an all-star or whatever, and he's when calls go against you in just a stupid way, and like it looks from your perspective that the odds are stacked against you, even from the officiating standpoint, which I'm sure a lot of people in the NBA have felt at some point or another, or any sport, not just the NBA. You know, he didn't like that shit too much, so he was looking at them like. Well,
here's the thing: I don't believe that there's any rules anymore. I don't think that rules apply. I think that the NBA allows the referees. It's almost like the referees are run by the mafia, and the NBA can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, you come in here and you fuck our shit up, I'll break your legs, Adam Silver, huh? He's like, I need my legs. I can't survive without my legs. He's like, well, this is why we just threatened you before we did it. So you know that we will do it, but you don't actually get your legs broke.
I don't think that whole betting on the game thing went away with that one ref. I think they all still do it.
I'm pretty
especially with like the way the fucking apps are now. Like
I'll say that I don't think they all
books.
do it. I think they are some good refs.
With the sports books out, man, I guarantee you they're all.
Oh yeah. But I think some of them are still.
If not, they have like their nephew doing it. Like, listen, get this, they're gonna win tonight.
But some of them, I think, are still upholding their moral compass as a ref.
I would like to believe.
And I believe that's more. I think it's usually just like any job, any kind of. I think it's the rookie refs that are probably a little bit more. They make mistakes, but there's more integrity to it. I hate when the refs seem to get a call wrong, know it, or they just kind of use their emotion and
like it's too bad. Come on,
they get a tech and they throw them out quick. Like, dude, and they walk away like. I feel like maybe
I was surprised they didn't tee up LeBron when he was like crying about his little call.
Here's a new addition to what we should be able to. The refs and there should be like, you know, in hockey, like players can fight.
Right.
Till like one falls. Mm-hmm. I think the player and the ref should be able to fight. And the ref would think twice about it because refs are small as fuck.
And keep the ref keeps some headgear on like they're sparring.
Pick him up like, like call the game right. Stop being stupid.
In the longest yard when they were playing the whatever the.
He's like gonna play call a good game.
Threw the ball at his balls a few times. Some good aim, you know.
Really good aim.
Yeah.
But yeah, I that's what we were talking about. Like sports, the things that sports should allow. You know.
I mean, I think it's a little violent if you let them fight the refs, but
you think they should be able to steal off the ref?
I think like if they get fouled, if they get fouled and the refs don't call it, then you should be able to go and like fight the guy who fouled you.
I don't know. Listen, I'm just being stupid here.
Player.
There is something wrong about the refs really dictating the pace of the game. Not only that, I think you should have to call
your own fouls.
The outcomes of the games. You should call your own fouls?
Call your own fouls.
What if they say they didn't hear it?
It's too bad.
That stays, man. That stays.
A lot of times, like, if you're in the middle of a play, like, obviously we do it on when we played basketball regularly, we did it on an amateur level. But if we're running down the court and somebody fouls us, but we're in the middle of a play, a lot of times I'll just let the call go because I'm in the middle of trying to fucking get this play defended. So I don't really call every foul. But if you hit me hard enough, I'm calling it.
That's the difference between.
So as to not whoop your ass.
That's the difference between like an actual pro game, or
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, they fuck up the flow of things so much.
They do.
Some plays, like, even if you get scored on.
And somebody just recently said that they believe that the refs should get fines, suspensions, and dicks not dicks. They should get dicks too. A whole bunch of dicks. Just throw them at them. What if, like, every time they got it wrong, just a bunch of fucking dildos get thrown at the ref?
Like they hand out dildos to the fans as they walk in.
Throw the dicks at the refs when they fuck up.
That's hilarious.
Like, hey, can I get my dick back just in case I gotta throw it at you again?
That's nasty. That's just like a whole NBA floor covered in dildos at some point.
I don't know how we explain this to the fans or the kids watching.
This shit's
Daddy, what are they throwing at all the refs?
Now,
son, that's a cock.
Now, when they were doing that buns and basketball shit,
buns and basketball is hilarious.
Awesome.
There's also a soccer and buns. Essentially, it's like a Latina version in some other country I've come across. It's pretty hilarious, man.
I like the people who are trying something new.
I do applaud the idea of like, well, let's also twerk and play basketball at the same time. This is.
I was tired of all the buzz around topless.
I mean,
so I'm throwing the bottomless party.
So imagine like if they had like,
go on.
I don't know. Oh, so like, I don't know. Like, what the fact they got twerk offs and shit is hilarious. But like the basketball, it's pretty funny. I guess it's like their version of Harlem Globetrotters. If the Harlem Globetrotters, which is like the most extreme version of trickery, they don't call.
They're the warlocks of the NBA.
They don't call any calls. The refs from those Harlem Globetrotters games, they should be employed by the NBA. And the refs in the NBA should be
fired
at UPS.
Working at UPS.
The furthest they can get from basketball.
Well, a lot of them are like old dudes, and they're starting to bring female refs in now. Not that matters. Like, they couldn't just lift a box in UPS, but I'm just.
There's that video of Luka flirting with that girl ref like multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, she's never gonna make a call on him.
This guy. Yo, Luka is a funny character, man.
He is a funny guy, but he can hoop.
He can.
I just don't know that he's gonna win with Kyrie.
I got a card for sale. Luka rookie cards, PSA 9.
What's the Family Guy thing? What for sale? What is it? What was he selling? PETA. Speaking of PETA, Good Burger 2, right? It's coming out. If you guys didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
who asked for it, but I'm going to watch it anyways.
I'm going to...
Welcome to Good Burger.
I'll watch it.
Good Burger.
I'll watch
take
it.
your order?
Because I like those two guys.
Kenan and Kel, man.
I think it's a little late for them to be playing two dudes that work at a fast food restaurant.
Listen,
hopefully by now
if they can do a Jay and Silent Bob reboot, they can do Good Burger too.
I think the premise of it should be that
as long as it's them two and they don't bring two other people to play the characters.
No, I don't think they will. They're two here. They're still here. They could be.
I know, but they did the same thing with How High too. They did the same thing.
Yeah, but these guys are involved. For some reason, they got.
But I'm just saying they made remakes where they didn't use the same people.
Well, they're going to use
it.
As
long as they use the same people, I'm cool with it.
Anyway, what do you think? Are they going to own Good Burger, or are they going to still work at Good Burger?
I think Kel might still work at Good Burger.
I don't want Kel, dude. But I don't want that. Like, if they're gonna make them be like grown men who haven't progressed in life, I don't want to watch that.
There's I think they were on Kimmel, I want to say, and they were like talking about Good Burger or whatever, both of them, just recently. And
that's how they announced it.
Yeah. So Kel was like talking about how he created the song. I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a and it was just like
not a great song, by the way.
It took them like 5 minutes to write it, and they were like,
"Let's
keep
it." Like it,
but apparently the producers loved it, and they told them to keep it, and so now it's a thing.
Anyway, the funnier part of this all is that going back to this PETA. The people, those meat freaks, right? Sorry guys, but it's kind of true. Because there's a lot of things you guys like. I heard that PETA will like.
Well, tell them what it is first, and then we can talk about.
What the group PETA is?
No, what they want out of Good Burger.
Oh, so they want it to be vegan. They want the Good Burger to be vegan, which is contradictory, if you ask me, because no Good Burger is a vegan burger.
I would attest to that, but I also have not tried.
I will try. I've never tried the
burgers.
Impossible Burgers. You know what? I'll try. I know you don't like mushrooms, but they have like that's what like they do the
magic mushrooms,
the big portobello, right? Like they do that. They fry it. It's supposed to be pretty good, but it's not going to fucking replace a regular burger.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, they can go to hell.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about them is that they'll like I've read it somewhere. They're like, yo, they'll fucking protest all these people for what they eat, what they wear, blah blah blah. But they'll still jump in a jet and burn all that fuel across the world.
That's true.
To get to these places to talk shit about.
Think about all the wildlife they're affecting by polluting the skies.
Yo, PETA's a bunch of hypocrites, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
And while we're at it, World Wildlife Federation, give WWF back their name.
Honestly, when it took the turn for the worse is when they made it WWE. You know? The title.
What is it now? WWW?
Like the World Wrestling
World
Championship
Wide Web?
had a WWF logo on the top, and now WWE. The fuck?
That's a dope belt. Well,
I like the Smoking Skull.
Yeah, the
better.
Smoking Skull is pretty dope. I was thinking about that. I wish like it would be cool to have a replica. We might have to find one for the pod one day when we get paid.
They pay us so we can get a Smoking Skull replica. We'll put that shit like right here.
So do you have any? Because obviously we've both experienced it. You don't currently, and I haven't for some time fasted. Mm-hmm. But do you remember how? Like, do you have any stories or any like particular memories you remember?
Well, I'll tell you, right?
Is that the end where Biggie "Give Me the Loot" plays so you can get money? Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
That was the most important part for us, obviously.
Man, we fasted all this month. I'm getting money today. You'd leave with $42, happy as hell.
I'll say this, right? So I'm like currently on my get right for the summer kick right now, working out, eating, whatever. So like all week I've been eating scrambled egg breakfast,
right?
Cheese, some kind of protein in there, whatever. And when I eat the eggs, I'm like, it kind of does remind me of like waking up at 4 a.m. Pops getting us out of bed, like, yo, I made you some food, come and eat.
I remember that.
And I'm like, I don't want to get up and eat. It's 4 a.m.
You always regretted not getting up to eat though.
Yeah, word up.
Oh my God.
No, but not really, because now, like, I don't know about you, but prior to when I'm not on like these little kicks, I don't eat breakfast super. Like, I maybe won't eat anything until like 10 and I'm up at 7, Dude, as soon as I eat, like it kickstarts my metabolism the rest of the day. I'm like eating. I'm hungry as fuck all day.
Monday through Friday.
So I feel like eating at 4 a.m. on Ramadan, like it's just, I'm hungry the rest of the day because of it.
It's mad early, but I eat breakfast I'm finishing my breakfast before 7:10 in the morning for sure. Just because the way my life is, like with work. So I would be, but like then if you didn't eat, you'd still be hungry. Do you remember those days where you accidentally would break your fast? Like, I'm get some water. You get some water, you're like, oh fuck.
Well, it's just part of your routine to like hit the water fountain on your way to class or some shit.
But like,
that.
well,
Like,
we're here already, so doop, 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 doop. Drink water, and that was it.
Yep.
But like, they would be like, "You fasting?" And I'd be like, I forgot.
Like, sorry, man. What's done is done.
And then I forgot forever.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not doing
He's so funny too because like first of all, Pop's not supposed to be fasting, right? But he's trying to do so, and he's like he's telling me, oh, well, if you don't fast, it's up to you. Like, that's your business to work out and whatever with the man above. And then I think like we're 2 days in or some shit like that, and he's like, "Why aren't you fasting?" And I'm like, "Yo, man, you get cranky. It's been 2 days."
I know, dude. I'm about to go.
And he's like, "No, it's whatever. It's your thing."
I'm going after the pod. I always go and check them out, and hang out with them for a few. I'm not gonna be there long today. I think I'm gonna tell Mom, "Hey, make me some coffee. Let's do a little snacking. I'm gonna say what's up, but I got to peace y'all out because Pops is gonna get angrier and angrier before it's time to eat because obviously this is like the third day, fourth day. So that means that his stomach isn't used to it yet. We're not there.
And we're in
at
the
about the
stage.
17th to 18th day, you start to get into that groove. It's cool. But right now he is not to be reckoned. And Daniel's gonna be just as annoying.
Ramadan is like
I didn't eat all day.
depending on the time of the year that it lands,
If
it could be worse, right?
Like that, oh my god.
Like if it's like peak like winter months, you're done by 4:30 every day. It goes down a little
that's
bit.
ideal.
We're in spring right now, technically, even though the weather will fool you. So like every day, the time goes up a little bit, and I'm like, that's a bitch, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the month, you're an hour later now. So
The worst time is summer.
Yeah.
Like, because if you're hot all day,
7, 8 o'clock,
because
you can eat.
If you're not familiar, fasting for Ramadan is literally no food.
Based on the lunar cycle.
Yeah, but no food, no water from sun up to sundown.
Right.
And then obviously, but the thing is, you don't want to break your fast with a heavy meal.
But that's how they do it.
The issue with it is
Arabs-
every food that Arabs eat is a heavy meal.
Iftar is a dinner the size of your face.
Yeah, man, and and you don't eat with forks. No, you do. We're not heathens.
Well, it depends what you're eating.
Yeah, but if you got some good
I mean, like if you put it all on an individual plate and then you use the pita to do it, like that's cool. I don't like having like the big mukbang.
mukbang.
But yeah, no. Listen, shout out to all you fasting out there, and good luck on your journey, because ain't gonna be me right now. I'm trying to.
No.
Physical fitness has to line up with your nutrition, and not eating all day long is not helpful in that pursuit. So
The pursuit.
just landed at a bad time for me, what it is.
This is actually a bad time for me.
Speaking of, we'll go to the opposite, right? Because Ramadan is celebrated by the Islamic community. Kanye West has recently joined Instagram again and had a post that I thought was hilarious. And because it's kind of like the inverse, because he's talking about Jews.
That is kind of, that's built a lot different.
He said that because of Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street.
So wait, Jonah Hill's performance.
Yes, Jonah Hill's performance.
Is it because he is a Jewish man?
Yes. And he is in 21 Jump Street.
So are you telling me that like all of the other roles he's created, Kanye, this has to be Kanye.
He's been a Jew in every role that he played. So
this is Kanye being a dick.
Yeah, but he said he likes Jews again because of Jonah Hill's performance in 21 Jump Street. And then he finished it by saying, I love you, Jonah Hill.
Listen, I think it's got to be kind of liberating to be Kanye, because some days you just wake up like, I've been thinking.
I feel like it's got to be confusing to be Kanye.
He like writes all these statements for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then he goes on a fucking Twitter rant and then disappears again.
I think I have the exact quote that he put on Instagram, and I just think it's worth reading out.
Hey man, whatever makes you like somebody is cool, I guess, but like, if I were Jonah Hill, I'd be like, dude, I have way better movies than that.
He said, watching Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street made me like Jewish people again. No one should take anger against one or two individuals and transform that into hatred towards millions of innocent people. No Christian can be labeled an anti-Semite knowing Jesus is Jew. Thank you, Jonah Hill. I love you.
I guess the sentiment is there. I just don't think
I don't even know
the
if it is.
correlation in delivery is exactly where you want it to be.
I don't know if the correlation is even there. I just think it's funny. I like Jonah Hill. And I like 21 Jump
I
Street.
really like Jonah Hill, man. He's a
I
cool
just
dude.
think Kanye West is a crazy person.
Kanye West is definitely a crazy person. You know, do you think is this like a form of Tourette's? Is Tourette's only where you go fuck shit cock?
Yeah, I think so.
Remember in Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo? That's a big bitch.
Also a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That's there's really nothing else to say about that particular subject. I just thought it was
No, it's funny to point out. I think not because he likes or dislikes Jews, it's because of what made him like them. It's like maybe he could have
That's what brought him back to like the
definitely
peaceful
could have
side.
come up with a better, more serious example. It's like people got to stop telling.
It definitely sounds as though it's just like mockery.
Yeah, it's like people got to start coming up with much more serious ways to tell us things, right? That are serious.
Because like, I was watching this movie and Jonah Hill made me laugh a lot in it, so I like them now.
Now I like Jews because he's Jewish. Like what? Like I guess, but like there's
like not even an element of the movie where his Judaism is like a.
If I was Jewish, I might be a little more offended by that. Like I don't
Probably.
like I think Jonah's a good guy, right? But I don't think he's like what they would call the best representative of the Jewish community.
No, probably not.
Who would you think they would consider a better representation, him or Drake?
Drake probably.
Really, Mazel? I don't know. What that
I was watching Wedding Crashers and they were doing bar mitzvahs. So
Dude, Wedding Crashers is still to this day a very good movie. It holds up really well.
it's pretty funny. Yeah, so I don't know. That was something that was funny. Do you think this is like part of Kanye's victory lap for having like won the Adidas fight? Because I think when it's all said and done, he technically won that, right?
I know. I think he would throw himself an actual parade. That would be the victory lap around the headquarters of
Throw a
Adidas.
concert at Madison Square Garden and be like, I just rented this whole thing out for me.
Yo, speaking of that, did we talk about Nas selling out at the Madison Square Garden last week?
I feel like it shouldn't even be newsworthy at this point.
No,
in
but
his
he's
career.
never done that.
But has he ever tried?
I don't think
Has he
he's
ever,
I
like-
don't. I think just
Has he ever had a concert in Madison
I think
Square?
just now he's getting to that situation where he's becoming such. Nas has always been a legacy. Like he's just been ill forever. But I think he's now getting to the point. He's proven. We've talked about Nas a lot lately. I actually was driving here with Nas playing. Like I just shuffled his catalog. But he's proven with these last 4 albums that he's truly just automatic almost with it. He's he's deserving of all the praise, and he's now a legacy act. Where he doesn't have to worry about, what he has his fans forever and ever.
I feel like he could have sold out MSG like 15, 20 years ago if he really wanted to. I don't think he did concerts there. I think he pretty much kept them like relatively intimate for his crowd.
I don't know what changed, but I don't believe it was necessarily an option back then. I just
I
don't.
don't see why not.
I just don't.
I mean, he had enormous fucking
I know.
deals with
I get
all
it.
kinds of
I
huge
understand.
companies.
I said I don't know what it was, but for some reason I
He was
don't believe.
multi-platinum on multiple occasions.
I get it.
don't know.
I just don't know if he would have. Maybe did Madison Square Garden. I don't think he's done it alone.
Maybe it's the alone
and
part.
selling it out. The selling out part.
Hey man, listen! Shout out Nas, and it's dope that you can do that anyway.
Indeed.
Anybody selling that out, it's a big venue. It's nice.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like it would be something that's like new for him. But I guess I haven't really followed much of his concert going ons anyway. Like we saw him at House of Blues, and I've seen him, and I haven't seen Jay in concert. So I mean,
but Jay, that shows you why Jay's just been a little bit more astronomical in his stardom for whatever reason. And Nas, though, I believe he has maybe equally as a higher base, is just it's a different crowd.
I suppose Jay was like a little bit more flashy throughout his career than Nas would be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was. Nas didn't get into the situation that Jay was, where he was like the head of a record label, or or at least a division of. And he was actually fucking El Presidente of Def Jam. So there was just a difference in their stardom, in my opinion.
That's what happens when you make that rapper CEO.
It didn't end well though.
Yeah, but he did well for himself. Again, $2.5 billion.
It's a lot of money, man.
Nothing to spit at there. So
So that's 1.5. You just spit on my 1.5 billion.
It's funny. We have Jay-Z, Nas, and Kanye topics. Ain't that something? And then we can talk about one other artist real fast. Chris Brown. You know, so he had a post and he used some expletives, so I won't go ahead and read it off. You can go and find it on his page if you like. But the gist of it was basically, you guys condemn me to this day for a mistake I made at 17 years old. I'm 33 years old today. And the same thing that you condemn me for now, Kasson Rock and Blueface literally make a living selling that abuse to the consumer. And he's like, basically, you can suck my whole dick. And I mean that very disrespectfully to those of you who are still on that train.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
You memorized it?
No. I mean, there's like little quotes in his long paragraph that he wrote that I just gave y'all. So, but no,
I got very little to say other than he's right. I mean, you got to allow other people to kind of grow, but he's been one that's been chastised, but he's maybe one of the artists of our generation, you know?
Yeah.
So you got to give him that and stop fucking taking away from what he's been able to accomplish and do. I'm a big Chris Brown fan. I know a lot of people aren't. Whatever. I think you can form your opinions however you like, but in my opinion, I mean, you got to respect the guy that. I mean, he doesn't. I mean, there's been allegations, but none of them have rang true. But that's the only thing that ever has really been one of those things where you're just like, man, you fucked up like that. And
again, like
you gotta allow
thing
room
is,
for growth. He was a child.
My thing is also where him and Rihanna's relationship is concerned is she's cool with him. Like they're back to the all love thing. It was a teenage shit, you know. Teenage love is fragile, man. What you gonna do? But
teenage love,
and of course, like as the story goes, she wasn't entirely blameless. Not that the whole thing made whatever. We don't need to go into the whole situation between them, but the comparisons between him and Blueface are fair. They're I wouldn't say that they're unfounded. You know, they definitely make a living basically showing how toxic their relationship is and how abusive it gets, and you can't condemn one and applaud the other.
No, you can't.
So
I don't really want to watch that type.
Especially like I'm not a fan of Blueface's music the way I'm a fan of Chris Brown's music.
I also, regardless if I'm a fan of your music or not, like I just don't like to certain things. I just try to stay away from, like inputting into my hard drive, if you will.
Word.
Where applicable.
The whole thing might be applicable.
It might be. Mm-hmm. It might be.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, we haven't been able. We don't really do it anymore. And Adam doesn't wear sneakers anymore, which is hilarious.
I mean, I wear them, just not on the show.
It's hilarious the irony of what they've created because all the things they asked for are now true, except
they just can't see.
They can't see it. I am wearing shoes.
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure out this fucking sneaker situation and what we want to do.
I think it's just gonna be a Patreon thing, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll probably end up doing that because we are limited. I don't know if we've explained how we're limited in the times we can the amount of time the pod can be uploaded, or the length of the pod. Sorry.
I think the Patreon thing is better also because, like, I know you little sick fucks who actually really want to see the feed like that. At least if you pay us for it, then I have a lot less of an issue doing it.
You can go see it. Yeah, for sure. I'm not opposed. But yeah, so we can only upload like a 55-minute podcast for now. We have to obviously work in our tech.
Unless we do it in multiple segments, which, you know, I mean, if you like that the way we did a couple of weeks ago.
They didn't seem to at all because our viewership has been drastically dropping. But it is what it is. We ain't stopping. Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah.
Wait, we got to do the I know that you don't like it, but there's only a few of you, so fuck y'all.
Yeah, nah. And that one guy still likes it. He's like, and that's what I
like
know.
your sweatpants and your shoes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I like the way you work. Hopefully he's not playing that song in the back of his head while we're sitting there with sweatpants on.
He might be. You're a little bit gross, guy.
That's a little gross. Speaking of that, I hopefully don't. Adam hasn't gotten there yet, so we won't be talking about it. But the third episode of The Last of Us, it gets a little bit adult.
To quote Theo Von, it gets a little gay.
It does get a little gay. However, that's a spoiler alert, and we probably should have said that before. So anyway,
that doesn't tell you very much.
Adam's gonna get through the rest of this. the episodes this week.
Yeah.
And we'll get to, talking about it hopefully on the next podcast.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Cool.
Cool, man. Now let's wrap this shit up because time is running short. Thank you all for tuning in as you have, if you gotten to this point. If you haven't gotten to this point, then it's not a thank you. In fact, it's the opposite of that, But if you did get here...
Depends on how far you did watch, though.
No, watch it all the way.
What if you watched it like 45 minutes?
Give me less than an hour. I watched an hour and a half of Last of Us for one episode.
That's true.
And I didn't even know it was going to be good. So, subscribe to the show, tell your friends, hit the like button, hit the little reminder bell, do all the things you're supposed to do. Follow us on all the socials. We'll be there, And we'll catch you on 175 next week.
Whoa.
Yay.
Peace.
Holla.